Giuseppe Verdi. The name resonates with the power and passion of opera. His music continues to stir souls and ignite imaginations. Verdi's operas throb with human emotion, love, betrayal, revenge, and redemption. Behind the spectacle lies a compelling story. Verdi's life was woven from humble beginnings and personal tragedies. He wasn't born into a world of gilded theatres. His was a world of rural simplicity. Imagine a young boy captivated by music, a transformative encounter with a traveling band, a seed that blossomed into an extraordinary career. This is the story of Giuseppe Verdi, a man who changed the landscape of Italian opera. Join us as we explore his life and legacy. Verdi's story begins in the heart of rural Italy in the small village of Roncola. Born in 1813, he entered a world far removed from the sophistication and grandeur of the opera houses where his name would one day be celebrated. Roncola, a humble farming community, offered little in the way of artistic stimulation. Life revolved around the rhythms of the agricultural calendar, the toil of the field shaping the daily routines of its inhabitants. His parents, Carlo and Luigia Verdi, were far from wealthy. They ran a modest inn and shop, their lives defined by hard work and the constant struggle to make ends meet. Young Giuseppe's early years were marked by the simplicity and hardship that characterized rural life in 19th century Italy. Yet, even amidst the poverty and lack of formal education, music found its way into his heart. The local church, a cornerstone of village life, became his first musical playground. The sounds of the organ, the chants of the choir, and the simple hymns of the church service left an indelible mark on the young boy's imagination. His innate musicality was undeniable, and he quickly impressed the church organist with his natural talent and eagerness to learn. Recognizing his potential, the organist took young Giuseppe under his wing, providing him with his first formal musical instruction. These early lessons, steeped in the traditions of sacred music, laid the foundation for Verdi's future endeavors. They instilled in him a deep appreciation for melody, harmony, and the expressive power of the human voice. Word of Verdi's burgeoning talent spread beyond the confines of Roncola, reaching the ears of Antonio Barezzi, a wealthy merchant and music lover from the nearby town of Busseto. Recognizing the young boy's exceptional gift, Barezzi became Verdi's patron, providing him with financial support and access to a world of musical opportunities that would have otherwise remained out of reach. Under Barezzi's guidance, Verdi moved to Busseto, where he immersed himself in the study of music. He delved into the works of the great composers, absorbing their techniques and styles, all the while nurturing his own unique voice. His talent continued to flourish, and he soon became a prominent figure in Busseto's musical circles, composing and conducting local performances. At the age of 26, Verdi embarked on his first operatic venture, composing Oberto Conte di San Bonifacio. The opera, premiered in Milan in 1839, was a resounding success, marking the beginning of his meteoric rise in the world of Italian opera. Verdi had found his calling, and the world was about to take notice. However, fate, as it often does, had other plans. Just as Verdi's career was gaining momentum, tragedy struck. Within a span of just 2 years, he lost his wife and both of his young children to illness. The pain of these losses was immeasurable, leaving Verdi devastated and questioning his will to continue composing. The weight of his grief threatened to crush Verdi's spirit, silencing the music within him. For a time, he considered abandoning composing altogether, unable to imagine finding joy or inspiration amidst such profound sorrow. But Barezzi, his loyal friend and patron, refused to let Verdi succumb to despair. With unwavering support and encouragement, Barezzi urged Verdi to return to music, believing that it held the power to heal his wounded soul. Hesitantly at first, Verdi began to compose again, channeling his grief and anguish into his work. It was during this period of profound personal loss that Nabucco was born, an opera that would not only revive Verdi's career, but also establish him as a leading figure in Italian opera. Nabucco, with its themes of exile, longing for freedom, and the triumph of the human spirit, resonated deeply with audiences across Italy. The opera's powerful chorus, Va Pensiero became an anthem of Italian unification, a rallying cry for a nation yearning for independence. Verdi, once on the verge of abandoning his craft, had found his voice again, a voice that would echo through the halls of opera houses for generations to come. The success of Nabucco was more than just a personal triumph for Verdi. It was a cultural phenomenon. The opera's themes of oppression and liberation resonated deeply with the Italian people, who were then engaged in a struggle for unification and independence from foreign rule. Va Pensiero, the opera's stirring chorus of exiled Hebrews, became an unofficial anthem of the Risorgimento, the Italian unification movement. Verdi, though initially reluctant to be drawn into the political fray, found himself hailed as a symbol of Italian nationalism. The weight of expectation fell heavily upon his shoulders. Audiences craved more works that would stir their patriotic fervor, more music that would speak to their yearning for a united Italy. Yet Verdi was wary of becoming a mere mouthpiece for political sentiment. He was an artist, not a propagandist. His true allegiance was to music, to the exploration of the human condition in all its complexities. He refused to be pigeonholed, determined to forge his own path and to let his music speak for itself. The years following Nabucco were a period of intense creativity for Verdi. He threw himself into his work, composing opera after opera at a feverish pace. Each new work was a stepping stone, a testament to his evolving musical language and his deepening understanding of the operatic form. From 1840 to 1849, Verdi composed an astonishing 15 operas exploring a wide range of themes and musical styles. He drew inspiration from history, literature, and Shakespearean drama, crafting tales of love, betrayal, revenge, and political intrigue. Each opera was a laboratory for his experimentation, a canvas upon which he painted his evolving musical vision. There were triumphs, of course, operas like I Lombardi alla prima crociata and Hernani that solidified his reputation as a rising star of the Italian opera scene. These works showcased Verdi's growing mastery of dramatic pacing, his ability to create characters of depth and complexity, and his gift for crafting melodies that could both enchant the ear and pierce the heart. But there were also setbacks, operas that failed to capture the public's imagination or that were overshadowed by the towering success of Nabucco. Verdi, however, was not one to be deterred by criticism or temporary setbacks. He possessed an unyielding belief in his own talent and an unwavering determination to push the boundaries of his art. Each new opera, whether a success or a failure, was a learning experience for Verdi. He studied his own work with a critical eye, always striving to improve, to refine his technique, and to delve deeper into the emotional core of his characters. The year 1848 brought with it a wave of revolutions that swept across Europe, shaking the foundations of old regimes and igniting hopes for a new era of freedom and democracy. Italy, too, was caught in the throes of upheaval, with uprisings against Austrian rule erupting in various parts of the country. While Verdi's music, with its themes of patriotism and its celebration of the human spirit, became inextricably linked to the revolutionary fervor of the time. Performances of his operas were often met with thunderous applause and cries for Italian unification. His music had become a soundtrack for revolution. Yet, Verdi remained wary of allowing his art to be used for purely political ends. He believed that music possessed a power that transcended the immediate concerns of politics, a power to speak to the depths of the human soul. He refused to compromise his artistic integrity for the sake of expediency or popular acclaim. Despite his reservations, Verdi could not help but be moved by the events unfolding around him. He witnessed firsthand the sacrifices made by those fighting for Italian independence, and he shared their aspirations for a unified and free Italy. His own experiences with censorship and political pressure only strengthened his resolve to use his music as a force for human dignity and freedom of expression. Amidst the turmoil of the 1840s, Verdi experienced both personal joy and profound sorrow. In 1840, he married Giuseppina Strepponi, a soprano who had created the leading female role in his opera Nabucco. Their relationship, though unconventional by the standards of the time, was a deep and enduring one, providing Verdi with much-needed emotional support during a period of intense creative output. Tragedy struck again, however, with the deaths of Verdi's two infant children. The pain of these losses weighed heavily upon him, casting a shadow over his personal life, even as his professional star continued to rise. It was during this period of personal and political upheaval that Verdi composed Si Lombardi alla prima crociata, the Lombards on the First Crusade. The opera, premiered in 1843, was a resounding success, further cementing Verdi's reputation as a master of the operatic form. Lombardi is a tale of love, war, and religious conflict set during the First Crusade. The opera is notable for its powerful choruses, its dramatic intensity, and its exploration of themes of faith, redemption, and the clash of cultures. It was a work that showcased Verdi's growing maturity as a composer and his ability to craft operas that were both entertaining and thought-provoking. As Verdi entered his 30s, he began to assert his artistic independence more forcefully. He grew increasingly dissatisfied with the conventions of Italian opera, which he found formulaic and lacking in dramatic depth. He yearned to create operas that were more than just vehicles for beautiful singing. He wanted to tell stories that mattered, stories that explored the complexities of the human experience. He began to demand more control over the production of his operas, clashing at times with librettists, singers, and impresarios who were accustomed to dictating artistic choices. Verdi, however, was not easily swayed. He possessed a clear vision for his work, and he was willing to fight to ensure that his vision was realized on stage. This period of artistic exploration and self-discovery led to the creation of some of Verdi's most innovative and enduring works. Operas like Macbeth, 1847, and Louisa Miller, 1849, marked a significant departure from the conventions of Italian opera, incorporating elements of realism, psychological depth, and musical experimentation. Verdi's music became more daring, his harmonies more adventurous, his orchestration more colorful and expressive. He was no longer content to merely entertain. He sought to move, to challenge, and to provoke. By the end of the 1840s, Giuseppe Verdi had established himself as the undisputed king of Italian opera. His name was synonymous with musical innovation, dramatic power, and emotional intensity. His operas were performed to sold-out crowds across Europe and the Americas, and his music had become the soundtrack of a generation. Yet, Verdi was far from content to rest on his laurels. He knew that true artistic fulfillment lay not in past triumphs, but in the pursuit of new challenges and the constant striving for excellence. Ahead of him lay a period of even greater creative ferment, a period that would see the creation of some of the most beloved and enduring operas ever written. The stage was set for Verdi's middle period, a period that would witness the birth of masterpieces like Rigoletto, Il Trovatore, and La Traviata. Operas that would redefine the possibilities of Italian opera and secure Verdi's place as one of the greatest composers of all time. The 1850s marked a crucial period in Verdi's career, often referred to as his years of Galleys. Verdi pushed himself relentlessly, driven by a desire to refine his craft. This decade saw the creation of some of his most popular and enduring works. Verdi faced criticism for his bold and modern music, but he remained true to his artistic vision. He immersed himself in theatre, collaborating closely with librettists and singers. Verdi's relentless work ethic took a toll on his health, yet he refused to slow down. Verdi's compositional style transformed significantly, moving away from traditional Italian opera structures. He created a seamless musical flow, blending dialogue, action, and musical expression. Verdi's melodies became more expressive, tailored to his characters' emotions. He paid meticulous attention to orchestration and vocal technique, creating challenging yet rewarding roles. His operas delved into universal themes and complex characters, exploring the human psyche. Verdi's artistic peak came with Rigoletto, il Trovatore and La Traviata. Rigoletto tells the tragic story of a court jester, known for its unforgettable melodies and powerful characters. Il Trovatore, set during the Spanish Inquisition, is a tale of love and betrayal with memorable melodies. La Traviata, based on Dumas' novel, is a heart-wrenching story of a courtesan destroyed by societal prejudices. These operas showcase Verdi's mature style, blending music, drama and spectacle. Verdi's fame spread across Europe, leading to commissions from Paris. He composed Les Vêpres Siciliennes for the Paris Opera, showcasing his adaptability to French grand opera. Despite his success in Paris, Verdi remained connected to his Italian roots, composing for Italian theatres. His operas like Simon Boccanegra and Un ballo in Maschera reflected his interest in history and power dynamics. Verdi's works of this period delved into the psychological motivations of his characters. Verdi's operas became nuanced and psychologically complex as he matured. He moved away from clear-cut heroes and villains, creating flawed, multidimensional characters. His music became more subtle, capturing the inner lives of his characters. Verdi's orchestra played an active role in the drama, revealing unspoken thoughts and emotions. His operas explored psychological realism and the darker aspects of human nature. By the 1860s, Verdi had become a national icon in Italy. His music resonated with themes of patriotism and freedom, aligning with the Italian unification movement. Verdi's operas were met with thunderous applause and became rallying cries for unification. He supported the cause financially and used his operas to express patriotic ideals. Despite a brief political career, Verdi's true legacy lay in his music, integral to Italian culture. Nabucco's Va Pensiero became an anthem of hope and freedom. Premiered in 1842, Nabucco captured the spirit of the Risorgimento. The opera tells the story of Nebuchadnezzar and the plight of Hebrew slaves. Va Pensiero became a symbol of Italian unity and a musical expression of national desire. Nabucco's success cemented Verdi's reputation as a composer of the people. Rigoletto, premiering in 1851, explores the life of a court jester entangled in deceit and revenge. Verdi's music captures the emotional turmoil of the characters. The famous aria La Donna è mobile contrasts the Duke's callous nature. Despite facing censorship, Verdi preserved the opera's integrity. Rigoletto remains a powerful exploration of love, loss, and revenge. La Traviata challenges societal norms with a story of love transcending class boundaries. The opera centers on Violetta, a courtesan, and Alfredo, a young man from a respectable family. Verdi's music evokes a wide range of emotions, from excitement to pathos. Initially controversial, the opera's emotional power won over audiences. La Traviata remains a beloved exploration of love, sacrifice, and societal hypocrisy. Aida, set in ancient Egypt, tells the story of Aida and Radames. Verdi's score blends intimacy and grandeur, capturing the love story and majesty of Egypt. The famous triumphal march is a highlight of the opera. Aida was an instant success, transcending cultural boundaries. Its themes of love, war, and cultural clash continue to resonate. Verdi's fascination with Shakespeare inspired powerful operas. Macbeth, Othello, and Falstaff are infused with Verdi's unique musical language. Verdi's adaptations explore power, jealousy, and the human condition. He took liberties with the text to heighten emotional impact. These operas stand as a testament to Verdi's admiration for Shakespeare. Verdi's Requiem Mass is a powerful meditation on life, death, and the afterlife. Composed in memory of Alessandro Manzoni, it is a dramatic expression of grief and hope. The Requiem's dramatic intensity and operatic sweep captivate audiences. It transcends genre boundaries, showcasing Verdi's versatility. The Requiem continues to resonate, offering solace and inspiration. Despite the fame and adulation that came with his success, Verdi remained deeply attached to his rural roots. He found solace and inspiration in the simplicity of country life, far from the glittering salons and demanding schedules of the opera world. In 1849, he purchased a large estate called Sant'Agata, located near his birthplace in Busseto. This became his sanctuary, a place where he could escape the pressures of fame and reconnect with the rhythms of nature. Sant'Agata wasn't just a retreat, it was a working farm, and Verdi took an active interest in its management. He relished the opportunity to work the land, to oversee the planting and harvesting of crops, and to tend to his beloved horses. This connection to the land grounded him, reminding him of his humble beginnings and providing a sense of balance in a life often consumed by the demands of his art. Verdi's days at Sant'Agata were a far cry from the glamorous world of the opera house. He rose early, dressed simply, and spent his mornings tending to farm business. Afternoons were devoted to composing, his piano often positioned near a window overlooking the vast fields. Evenings were spent with Giuseppina, reading, discussing music and literature, or enjoying the company of close friends. This simple yet fulfilling existence in the countryside provided Verdi with a much-needed respite from the pressures of his career. It was at Sant'Agata, surrounded by the beauty and tranquility of nature, that some of his greatest masterpieces were born. Giuseppina Strepponi, a renowned soprano in her own right, played a pivotal role in Verdi's life. Their relationship, unconventional for its time, was a source of strength, support, and artistic inspiration for Verdi throughout his career. They met in 1842 when Giuseppina was engaged to sing the role of Abigail in Verdi's opera Nabucco. Their connection was immediate, both personal and professional, and it blossomed into a deep and enduring love. Giuseppina, with her keen intellect and deep understanding of music and theatre, became Verdi's confidant and advisor. She provided invaluable feedback on his compositions, offering suggestions for improving dramatic pacing, refining character development, and enhancing the emotional impact of his music. Verdi, known for his demanding nature and unwavering commitment to his artistic vision, valued Giuseppina's opinions and trusted her judgment implicitly. Their relationship, however, faced societal disapproval. Giuseppina, a divorced woman with children out of wedlock, was considered scandalous by the standards of the time. Undeterred by social pressure, Verdi and Giuseppina lived together openly at Sant'Agata for over a decade before finally marrying in 1859. Giuseppina's influence on Verdi's music is undeniable. Her insights into female characters, her understanding of vocal technique, and her unwavering belief in Verdi's genius helped shape some of his most memorable and emotionally resonant operas. Their partnership, both personal and artistic, was a testament to the power of love, respect, and shared passion. The world of 19th century opera was a hotbed of artistic rivalries, cutthroat competition, and clashing egos. Verdi, with his passionate nature and unwavering commitment to his artistic vision, was no stranger to controversy. He engaged in heated debates with librettists, clashed with singers who dared to alter his scores, and fought tirelessly against censorship and artistic interference. One of Verdi's most famous feuds was with the composer Richard Wagner. The two musical titans, each revolutionizing opera in their own way, held vastly different artistic philosophies. Verdi favored clarity of expression, melodic richness, and dramatic intensity, while Wagner championed a more complex and immersive musical language, emphasizing leitmotifs and the seamless integration of music and drama. Their rivalry, fueled by both artistic differences and nationalistic tensions, became legendary. Though they never met in person, their contrasting approaches to opera sparked heated debates among critics and fans alike. Despite their differences, both Verdi and Wagner left an indelible mark on the operatic landscape, expanding the boundaries of the art form and leaving behind a legacy that continues to inspire and provoke to this day. Verdi's fiery temper and uncompromising nature were legendary. He could be quick to anger, especially when he felt his artistic vision was being compromised. Yet, beneath the gruff exterior lay a man of deep compassion and loyalty. He was fiercely protective of his friends and colleagues, and he was known for his generosity to struggling artists and charitable causes. Verdi's legacy of compassion. Verdi's success brought him fame and fortune, but also a deep sense of social responsibility. He dedicated time and resources to philanthropic endeavors, aiming to alleviate suffering. One enduring legacy is the Casa di Riposo per Musicisti, a retirement home for elderly musicians. Established in his will, it opened in 1902, providing a dignified home for musicians. Verdi also advocated for education, establishing schools and scholarships. He contributed to hospitals, orphanages, and other charities, making a tangible difference. Verdi saw music as a force for social good, connecting and inspiring hope. Section 5. A Conductor's Touch, Verdi's vision brought to life. While Verdi is celebrated for his genius as a composer, he was also a skilled and demanding conductor. He understood that realizing the full potential of his operas required not only talented singers and musicians, but also a conductor who could shape the performance, balance the musical forces, and bring his artistic vision to life. Verdi's conducting style was characterized by its precision, passion, and attention to detail. He demanded the highest standards from his performers, urging them to go beyond mere technical proficiency and to infuse the music with emotional depth and dramatic conviction. He was known for his fiery temperament on the podium, but his outbursts were always driven by a desire to achieve musical excellence and to communicate the essence of his music to the audience. Verdi's conducting was more than just beating time. It was about shaping the performance, highlighting dramatic nuances, and creating a cohesive and emotionally resonant experience for the listener. He understood the importance of pacing, dynamics, and phrasing in bringing his music to life, and he worked tirelessly with his performers to achieve his desired effect. Verdi's legacy as a conductor is intertwined with his legacy as a composer. His deep understanding of his own music, his ability to communicate his vision to performers, and his unwavering commitment to achieving musical excellence helped to establish his operas as cornerstones of the operatic repertoire, performed and admired for their dramatic power, emotional depth, and enduring beauty. Echoes of Verdi, the composer's influence on everyday life. Verdi's music, once confined to grand opera houses, has seeped into popular culture. His melodies are in films, commercials, and ringtones. His name adorns concert halls, music schools, and even a brand of Italian coffee. Verdi's true legacy lies in the power of his music to move and inspire. Walk any city street, and you might hear La Donna è mobile. Turn on the radio, and you might catch the triumphal march from Aida. Verdi's music has become part of the global musical landscape. His operas explore universal themes of love, loss, and redemption. His characters remind us of the power of love, the destructive nature of hate, and the strength of the human spirit. Verdi's legacy transcends cultural boundaries, speaks to the human soul, and leaves an indelible mark on the world. His operas continue to be performed to sold-out crowds, inspiring listeners of all ages. Verdi's name remains synonymous with the best of Italian opera. The Maestro's curtain call, a legacy forged in music. Giuseppe Verdi, the boy who found solace in hymns, became a titan of opera, synonymous with Italy's soul. From Nabucco's stirring choruses to La Traviata's heartbreaks, Verdi voiced human longings and sorrows. His genius lay in crafting melodies woven into human drama. Verdi's music transcended language, evoking laughter and tears. He lived in service to music, leaving a legacy that inspires and moves us. Verdi's enduring gift, the human voice at the heart of opera. At the heart of Verdi's operatic genius lies a profound reverence for the human voice. He understood its expressive potential, conveying emotions from delicate whispers to thunderous roars. Verdi's vocal writing, challenging yet rewarding, is designed to wring every ounce of emotion from the text. He wrote for the voice as an extension of the soul. His arias were windows into characters' inner lives, revealing hopes, fears, and desires. Think of Violetta's heart-wrenching Addio del Passato from La Traviata, or the Duke of Mantua's carefree La Donna Immobile from Rigoletto. Verdi's genius lay in tailoring music to each voice type. His impact on vocal technique and performance practice is still felt today. Verdi's music in the tapestry of life. Verdi's music is woven into the fabric of our lives. His melodies echo in unexpected places, a film, a sporting event, or a street musician's heartfelt rendition. Verdi's music transcends its original context. Themes of love, loss, hope, and despair resonate with all. His melodies stay with us long after the last note fades. Verdi's music offers unity and hope, transcending time and culture.